Shemai GTA fans, the Hydra is on discount at 1.8 million this week. The Savage too, but this is the must-have vehicle. So I'm going to show you this, what you can customize about it after making it your personal vehicle. After all, it is a Pegasus vehicle. As soon as you fly it into your hangar, it becomes your own, your very own jet plane. Right, so if you press E to modify, all you can do is change the paint. Now do like and subscribe if you're finding this useful, because it's going to be useful if you haven't thought about buying this plane yet. So you can choose the greys and the blacks, also some coloured looks to it. The reason why I have selected matte is because it's not a very reflective surface and it's a lot more difficult for people to track you, so it's all about combat basically. Okay, so let's take it for a flight and show you what it can do. First thing is, on PC, if you press E, you can change the takeoff mode. So at the moment it's at normal aircraft takeoff mode, and it always sets off in VTOL mode. This is vertical takeoff, so you can just take off vertically basically. Gear up, and let's take it for a spin. Oh yeah, I should remember to press E again, because at the moment we're still in vertical mode, so it flies a bit like a rubbish helicopter in this mode. You can shoot stuff as well, but let's press E and that'll set us moving. Now if you on mouse and keyboard you press W, and that will give you acceleration, as in that will activate your jet. Obviously you want to use your jet because that's how you fly, a straight line with the jet. Now this is a great plane because it has explosive rounds. The cannon, so let's just watch it. You need to zone in on it because it only hits at a certain height, so it's not going to hit from a great height. But it's high enough. You're getting quite close, but it is brilliant. So where do we want to fly to? Well, let's just take it up to Pallet Town. Why not? We've got the police. Now if we press tab, we can go to missiles. And if we see the police, lock on, and they're gone. That's the police gone. Missiles are a lot easier, so when you first begin this, if you've not flown a jet before, you'll be using missiles quite a lot. But I would encourage you to learn how to use the cannon because it's the most effective weapon. It's used often in dogfighting and in ground attack, just like that. So you'll find yourself often using that. It's a great jet, it's my favourite jet. It's equivalent to the laser, there's not a great deal of difference performance wise. Both of them have explosive cannons, both of them have lock-on missiles. I think the laser is a little bit better, it's a little bit faster, but I'm used to flying this, so I can't really notice the difference really. Let's see what it does to that helicopter. That's what it does. You've got to be careful though, because you can end up flying into the detritus that you make of the aircraft that you are attacking. I mean, let's have a look at the cockpit view then. So here's the old cockpit view. You can attack exactly the same way. In cockpit view, you've just got to be aware of your surroundings a bit more, because you can't see the leading edges of your aircraft, of course. So any minute now we could end up crashing into these trees. I'm not sure I'm good enough at low flight in first person mode, but we'll give it a go, why not? Some nice bridges up here. Got that fella. So you can fly under the bridges quite easily. It's very easy to control this aircraft. And you'll have no problems flying through valleys, flying at low height, flying upside down. And whatever you need to be doing in this aircraft you can do. It's very forgiving. It's quite small as well. I mean, it'll appear big, of course it'll appear big if you land it on a motorway, a road, yeah, because cars are very small compared to it. But with regards to an aircraft, it's very small. Okay, so let's go into normal. This is normal mode, it's not really normal, is it? It's not what you'd encounter if you were flying a jet. You wouldn't see it from behind. You don't have a permanent quadcopter that's capable of keeping up with the jet, do you? So notice the ground. When I'm hitting the ground, it shows up as a... oh, hang on. We've got somebody locking on. This is the... oh, look at that. Now, there's a surprise. That doesn't happen very often. So you can get locked on quite easily. It doesn't have any there it goes. It doesn't have any chaff or flares, unfortunately. And I wasn't quite ready for that guy. In fairness, he was a bot. How can you be ready for a bot? Let's go and get another one, shall we? Morse Mutual. Morse Mutual actually will cost us €1,000, so it's really cheap. Why aren't Morse Mutual on speed dial? We need that. So
Hello,
there we
this is
go.
Morse Mutual
No matter
Insurance.
what you do to it,
Sure.
it'll cost you £1,000. Very cheap, very, very cheap to replace, even if you blow it up yourself. Now then, if you want to order this aircraft and don't have a hangar, you do it through Pegasus, just like that. But I would advise you get a hangar
Hello, this is Pegasus
because
Lifestyle. Call again.
it's very
Goodbye.
convenient to be able to call it up your personal vehicle, because actually if you call Pegasus it'll appear in the city as well. So either is good, it just saves you $200, that's all. So there's nothing wrong with not having a hangar, and that's fine as well. Anyway, so here we are in the city, just demonstrating how nice this aircraft looks. From the front, it's pretty obvious which aircraft it is. The only VTOL aircraft that looks like that is the first one, which is the Harrier jump jet, which was a UK aircraft, also used by the US. They got in on the game extremely cheap, and we, I think, paid a lot of the money for it. And the US also bought our old Harriers for super cheap money, leaving us with a couple of aircraft carriers without any aircraft. That was wise thinking there. And what we have now is the F-35. So you might notice the tail fin is nothing like a Harrier. It's more like an F-35. So this is like the love child of the two aircraft. As if you have the younger aircraft mating with the newer, older aircraft to make the perfect plane. And for aviation, what's the word? Aviation buffs. You would want to buy this aircraft, definitely. Definitely. I mean, you look at the wheels, gear down. Those are definitely the landing gear of the Harrier. Notice how it fits into the wing like that. That's not what the F-35 does. It's much more complicated, the F-35. But both are excellent aircraft, of course. I look forward to the day when we have the F-35 VTOL aircraft as well. The question you have to ask yourself is, of course, should you buy it? Well, the answer is yes, you should. Everybody should buy it. If you don't like jets, you have to ask yourself why. Because they're awesome. Look at this, you don't even need to go around and shoot things. You can just fly around and just enjoy yourself. You know, minding your own business until a bot blows you out of the sky. And that's how it works, this game. It's very relaxing, and especially when you have a sunset, you fly off into the sunset, it is great. So, let's have a see if we can get this little helicopter. There it goes. The other thing is as well, a lot of people use it for griefing, so if you fly low level in it, what you'll find is somebody will inevitably eventually shoot you down with explosive sniper rounds. Most aircraft, they can take a couple of sniper rounds and then they're done for. So you don't last long, basically, when somebody has an explosive sniper. So at that point, I'd encourage you to get out of your aircraft or go to another area. That's going to be the best thing to do, of course. And what else? Missiles, it doesn't take any missiles, as I demonstrated. It was one lock-on missile and it was gone. So we need to avoid those. Normally you can avoid the missiles. For some reason I completely failed. It just caught me at the wrong time, I think. So, but normally you can avoid those without having any kind of chaff. You can do that. What else have we got? Oh, we can do that as well. We can suddenly go into hover mode from flying at height. There's lots of tricks you can do with this plane. I like to fly basic, you know, because that's what I like. I just like flying this aircraft. Anyway, I think that brings me to the end of this review of the Hydra. If you want an equivalent aircraft, the nearest is going to be the Laser. and there are performance differences between the two, but they're pretty much equivalent. You can get the laser free at Fort Zancudo, but you have to fly all the way up there in the first place to get the aircraft because you can't spawn it unless you own it, and it costs 6.5 million. So even if this Hydra is not on discount, it's still by far cheaper than a laser, even if the laser's on discount, unless they do some kind of crazy discount, like more than 50% off. Because the laser is severely overpriced, which is why not many people have it. Well, actually, quite a few people do seem to have it, but not as many as own the Hydra, because the Hydra is the best value of the two. It does VTOL, it makes it more flexible for missions and that. Oh, phenomenal. I was about to say my goodbyes anyway, but noticed that I did blow up that helicopter before I crashed into it, so I win at the end of the day. And if you thought I won, then drop me a comment of liking and like that, and also subscribe as well if you found this useful. But overall, buy this aircraft, and thank you very much for watching.